Hello, I'm Jason and welcome to Super Fast Comic Book Reviews. This is my weekly comic book review show where I review the books I picked up. In this I will attempt to give each book a 90-second review. I say attempt, I try very hard but I don't always achieve that 90 seconds. In each review I will go through the book giving you what I liked, what I didn't like, and giving it a score out of 5 stars. I will also make my pick of the week, which is the book I enjoyed the most, and I will also do my geek out moment of the week, which is that moment that had the most impact, whether it was an emotional moment or a moment that I really enjoyed seeing, or shock, or just that moment that had the most impact for me over the course of reading my books. So that's the introduction, so let's get on with my reviews, as I'm going to review the books that were released on the 20th of March, so let's get down to business. First up, we start off with Justice League issue number 18, and this is a book that I've twice in the past considered dropping, but I really must say it's really improved since issue 15, since the whole Throne of Atlantis story has started. It really has improved and picked up. In the aftermath of the whole Throne of Atlantis storyline, the Justice League realised they need more members, so they hold a membership drive, which we have here. I really like the dialogue between the characters at the beginning of the book. One of my problems in the early days was the lack of familiarity between the characters, which I could understand in the first 6 issues where they come together, but then we jump to 5 years later and there's still this distance between them. This issue I like, they have this kind of familiarity with each other, and that was something I enjoyed. It was also really good to see them opening up the league and see them asking other heroes to join the team. And it was also good to hear Flash sort of mention some of the events that have been going on in his book. So that was good. We also get the first mentions, well, it's not the first mentions, but it is the beginnings of the Metal Men. So hopefully that's something that DC seem to be building towards, and I wouldn't mind seeing a Metal Men book. So yeah, hopefully that's something that's going to happen. The backup once again in here, Shazam, is a really good story backup. Billy Batson, I've grown to really like his character, and he's in real trouble. You see at the end of that story, he is in serious trouble, and Gary Frank's art on that is brilliant. It's going to be interesting when they get the trade, whether they're going to collect Shazam as like one trade, or whether it's going to be included in the Justice League trade. It'd be interesting what they do. But all in all, this book's really improving, and I liked the overall story, which was just really them bringing in new members. By the end of the issue, we have 3 new members of the Justice League, and we also have a bit of a mystery. So yeah, all in all though, Justice League 18, really good issue, and I will give it 5 stars. Next up we have Indestructible Hulk issue number 5, and I must say, since issue 1, this is the issue I've enjoyed the most so far. I really felt this issue Mark Waid really hit his stride with the character and with the story. He combines comedy and action and drama fantastically well. You have scenes where you're laughing at the Hulk and these rebels that he's met up with and he's teamed up with. There's some funny moments with Hulk and one of the female members of this group, but then at the same time there's some like drama, like when you get what the threat is that what is Atoma trying to do and how they must stop him. Wade just does brilliantly, but then it never gets too heavy, which I think is all of his books, they retain that kind of light tone, while at the same time they set up peril, but they keep it light, and that's something I like. I also really like that we get to see Hulk's intelligent. We get to see how intelligent Banner is and getting to solve problems, which I don't feel they've always done in the past, and that's good that they're showing Banner as being as much of an asset as the Hulk is. I also really like that they're treating Hulk as a hero. The thing that they really hit upon in the Avengers movie was that people like to see Hulk as the hero, not being chased by people. So I'm really liking what they're doing with the whole setup with S.H.I.E.L.D., and I'm hoping they keep this status quo for a while, because it's nice to see Hulk being a hero. But yeah, like I say, this was my favourite issue so far, and I will give Indestructible Hulk 5 stars. Next up we have Justice League of America issue number 2. Issue 1 I really liked. It was my pick of the week when it came out. I felt it perfectly introduced the team, why they have to come together, and what their mission is, and even set up a bit of a story running in the background that will lead to their first mission. So, you know, I thought that was really well done. So this issue continues from where that left off in brilliant style. When the League meet each other for the first time, that's really good. Seeing some of the character interactions is really interesting, and I enjoyed that. We get to meet the Secret Society, or the beginnings of what is the Secret Society, which I also really liked. I liked that bit of mystery. I'm not too steeped in my DC history. DC's not something I've read a lot in the past, so I don't really know. But the name Secret Society is familiar, but I don't really know a lot of their history. But it seems they're going to be, at least in this first arc, the big villains for the Justice League of America. So that was great, but it's great that DC are starting to introduce these other bits of their history into the New 52. The backup I thought really complemented well the main story, gave us a bit more insight into Martian Manhunter, but it took a part of the main story and expanded on it, and that worked really well. And Matt Kindt wrote the backup, and he does a good job with it. And Martian Manhunter is a very interesting character who I'm looking forward to seeing more of. My only gripes with this issue would be the cover. You've got Simon Baz on the cover. He's not in the issue. They explain why he's not in the issue, but it still would have been nice if they'd have, you know, not put him on the cover then. The other thing was Catwoman's outfit. I can understand during the meeting at the beginning of the issue why she'd have her top down low, because she wants to distract people while she, you know, takes things from people and that. So I can understand that. She's an intelligent woman. She uses what she's got to her advantage. But at the end, when they go into battle, I don't understand why it's still, the zip is still all the way down there. You know, because surely that's going to lead to a wardrobe malfunction. And the last thing you want while you're in the heat of battle, battling the bad guys, trying to save your life, and the lives of other people, is for your tits to pop out, you know. So that was something I didn't quite understand. But maybe I'm spending too much time thinking about Catwoman's outfit, you know. Maybe, you know, I shouldn't let it bother me, but it just seemed like I thought she'd have it really zipped up during battle and maybe have it unzipped a bit later on, earlier on. But anyway, anywho, apart from that little gripe, I did enjoy the art in this issue. I think Finch does a really good job. Some of his best stuff here, and all in all, it was an enjoyable issue, and I would give Justice League of America 5 stars. Next we have Nova, issue number 2, and for the second issue in a row, this really surprised me, this book, how much I enjoyed it. First off, I love that cover. I love how they have all the background of space on his silhouette in the background. I really love that cover. The story, again, is brilliant. I'm loving how Jeff Loeb writes Sam Alexander. He really feels like a teenager, which a lot of times I think writers don't quite get that right, but Jeff Loeb is doing a fantastic job in writing Sam. I also really like that the book explains why only Sam can become a Nova, why nobody else can put the helmet on and become a Nova. I thought they did a really good job of explaining that, and there were some really nice moments in this issue. The art is just beautiful all the way through. Ed McGuinness is really doing a fantastic job on this book. I just totally loved the art, and all in all, it was a very enjoyable experience. I've not really read much Marvel Cosmic in the past, but I'm certainly, with what I'm reading so far, I'm really enjoying it. Look forward to reading more, and I'd give Nova issue number 2 5 stars easily. Next up we have New Avengers number 4, and this was one of the books I was really looking forward to this week. Last issue ended with that shocking where they cast the spell on Captain America so that he wouldn't remember. That was a shocking moment, so I was looking forward to seeing the fallout from that. That isn't really addressed, and even the characters in the story, none of them sort of say, well, what we did to Cap, was it the right thing to do? They don't seem, that seems to have just totally been forgotten, and they don't mention it. And maybe that's something we're going to come back to, but none of them are sort of second guessing themselves. What I did like is the art is wonderful. The situation still feels really serious. Hickman does a fantastic job always of writing how epic the story is, how big the stakes are, and he really gets that sense of peril across. I found a great usage here of the AR app, the augmented reality app on iPhone. There's a couple of pages here where they have that on, and it sort of tells you a little bit of the science behind the book, and I liked that. I thought that was a good use of the AR, so to give you added understanding of the story. I did find the end a bit confusing. I thought they went to this other world to destroy it so our Earth could live, our universe could live, but they end up defending it, and I did find that a bit confusing. You know, does it matter how the world ends as long as that world ends? But anywho, I'm still enjoying this book, and you know, I'm looking forward to seeing where they go with it, and I'd give New Avengers issue number 4 stars. Next up we have Avengers issue number 8. This is the other Hickman Avengers book, and I've got to say this is the best issue yet, where issues 1 to 3 introduce the concept of why we need the big team. The next few issues introduce lesser known members. This is the first issue where I feel like everything's starting to come together. All the plot bits we've been building up all come together in this one, and the story really gets moving, and we get action, and it was just a great all-round enjoyable issue. I think I really liked about this issue was the art as well. I've not heard of Dustin Weaver before, but he does a fantastic job with the art here, and the way he draws Captain America. I mentioned before, since the whole new Marvel now, they've changed Cap's outfit, changed his uniform, and nobody's been able to get it right. Many great artists have tried, but nobody's really made consistently through a book make Cap look right. But the way Dustin draws him here, he does a fantastic job, the best job I have seen in the whole Marvel Now range. And you know, but overall throughout this book I really enjoyed his art, and I hope he's going to do more issues of this book, because I really enjoyed seeing his work here. So yeah, this was an issue that I really enjoyed. So much happens and it sort of ends. It's like, oh, what, you know, there are some bits I don't quite understand, but I think with Hickman you need to read his books a few times, which is a good thing. You get your money's worth before it all soaks in. Every time you read it, it's like you tear away another level of understanding. So I think I do need to go back and read it again. There are a couple of bits that I'm still a bit fuzzy on, but overall I really enjoyed the story, and it just feels like this is hitting its stride now, and I give Avengers issue number 8 5 stars. Next we have XFactor issue 253. This is part 4 of the Hell on Earth War. The story, as always, is just moving forward fantastically well. We've got this really dire situation, but where in past issues we felt XFactor were above their head, this was above them. This was too big for XFactor. Now there is a bit of hope. Now we have a way that maybe they can win the day and save the day. So that I liked. So the story keeps moving, and I'm really intrigued to see how it's all going to end out. We do get, like in this issue, that not everybody may make it out alive of this story. We may lose some characters. It is that big of a situation, and I think that's probably where Peter David has an advantage over other books, in that, you know, potentially he could kill characters off of this. They're low enough down on the totem pole that he could kill them off. So, you know, I think that's really, I'm liking where the book is going, and I'm still really enjoying the story that's been told, and plenty of action in this one, and great twist and shout. In the beginning of the book we always have like our previously, but in the second paragraph it always tells you something about Peter David, or something that's going on, or something that happened to him. And this issue, it shares news that Peter David is getting well. He's out of hospital. He's learnt to walk again, and he's just doing well, and that is fantastic news. And for me, that was my geek out moment of the week, to know that Peter David is okay and he's getting better, and he's planning on writing more issues of X-Factor, which that's a secondary issue compared to his health. Just that he's got his health and he's getting better, he's out, and life's good for him. that's excellent news, and for me that was my Geek Out moment of the week. But the book just remains to be one of Marvel's best, and is one of those things that sort of flies under the radar, but continues just to thrill me every month. I give XFactor 5 stars plus my Geek Out moment of the week. Now we have Daredevil issue number 24, and this continues to be a great book. I think Mark Waid and Chris Samney make a fantastic team. They do really well, but I think somebody who deserves a shout out as well is Javier Rodriguez. I really love his colours on this book. The way that like a lot of it is kind of coloured kind of dark, and so like the red of Daredevil's outfit just really stands out. I really love how they do it, and all three of them just make this book an absolute joy every single month. The mystery of who is after the Daredevil is starting to be unravelled, and we're starting to get some clues, which I'm really enjoying now. The moments where between Matt Murdock and Foggy, they're really heartwarming moments, and it's nice how Wade manages to just cram everything in this book. You've got action, you've got comedy, you've got, you know, those heartwarming moments, and that's what makes this book so good. And I'm just enjoying the heck out of this book, and it's one of those books, if you're not buying, you're doing yourself a disservice, because this every month continues to be one of the best books, and I give Daredevil issue number 24 5 stars. Next up we have SpiderMan issue number 6. I wasn't looking forward to this issue as much because we had Ramos on art, and I'm not a big Ramos fan. I prefer Camuncoli or Stegman, but hey, them's the breaks. But I must give Ramos the credit where credit's due. I enjoyed this issue. I thought his art was good here. I'm still really loving the new outfit of the Superior Spider-Man. I think that works well. I'm liking the way Slott, the way he's writing this down, Slott, the way he's adding depth to Dr. Octopus's character, the way, like, you know, like this issue is all about bullying, and that he's been bullied in the past, so he has now he's got the power to do something about it. He's got a very over the top way of dealing with bullies. I like how in the background, and we get hints of it here, how the story's building, and you can see where it's going, and all what's been happening over the course of the previous issues and this issue sort of are all building towards our future. Nothing ever feels like filler. This issue, with the characters it's got in it, could easily have been a filler issue, but it's just as crucial to the story as the previous issues, and it continues to do a fantastic job. I like the relationship with Anna Maria Marconi and Dr. Octopus. I think that's an interesting relationship, and I don't know what the politically correct term is, if it's dwarf, little person, or midget, and I don't want to be offensive, but that's Anna, so I'm going to use the word midget, but if it's offensive, I apologise. I just don't know what the politically correct title is, but Anna Maria Marconi is a midget, but that isn't part of her character. That she's just this really smart girl, and Doc Ock, because of who he was before, can look past the physical, and he just sees this really nice woman who he really gets on with, and he really enjoys, and who cooks really well, and so, like, it's an interesting relationship that's building there, and it sort of throws up the question as well, if Doc Ock, while he's Peter Parker, goes into a relationship with someone, what's going to happen when Peter Parker comes back? You know, is he going to stay in that relationship? Because he's not the same person inside. Outwardly, yeah, he's going to be the same person, but inwardly, he's not going to be that same person that was going on this relationship. So that's going to be very interesting how that plays out. But there's a lot of stuff building here that I'm really enjoying, and I'm just really liking where Dan Slott is taking the story and what he's doing, and it's all building nicely, and I give Superior Spider-Man issue number 6 5 stars. Yeah, here we go. All New X-Men issue number 9. Just another really great issue. This book has just been brilliant. My only gripe all the way through this is that I don't really understand what they think they can do in the future. What happens if one of them dies trying to bring Xavier's dream to life? How are they going to achieve that anyway? So, you know, I have got questions. But I'm just really enjoying it though, you know, and those questions just disappear because I'm enjoying the book so much. I love the interaction between the original X-Men and Kitty. There's some great moments there. Angel brings up a really good question, and he goes to Beast with the question, which I thought it's nice that the book's addressing some things that, as fans reading it, that we're kind of questioning. There's a fantastic cliffhanger at the end of this. It's just so great and makes me so look forward to the next issue. Business is really going to pick up in issue number 10. It can't not with the way this ends. They did mention in the solicits we're going to get new costumes, but we don't. So that was a bit of a like, well, there ain't no new costumes, so what are they going on about? But you'd have thought they'd have given them new costumes sooner. You know, if the Avengers had met them in these new costumes, they might have just thought they were new students who've got powers of the original X-Men. You know, you might have got away with it there. But it's just a fantastic book. Stuart Immonen back on art this issue. I thought David Marquez was a fantastic replacement, and I'm really happy if those two are going to be our two artists. But Immonen just comes back with his A game. There's in particular, I'm going to just show you the one double page that he does here, which I just absolutely love that double page. And his art is just top notch in here. Immonen does a fantastic job. But all in all, it's a fantastic book. There's so much going on, and yeah, it just looks like it's going to get even crazier with the next issue. But yeah, I'm really enjoying this one. Definitely one worth checking out. And I give All New X-Men issue number 9 5 stars. Finally, we have my pick of the week, Saga, chapter 11. This book is just so awesome. I am totally in love with this book. If I wasn't engaged to be married, I would even get engaged to this book because I just love it. It is so good. Every month, it never lets me down. It gives out another great dose of awesomeness. The first page, I think every month they do the best first page in comics. And every month I think, no, they can't shock or surprise me anymore. And then I open up the front page and it's like, oh my god, they just done it. They just gone and done it. So, you know, but I'm really loving as well how we're getting to see a bit of the beginnings of Marco and Alana and how they got together in their early days together. I'm really enjoying that. There is a death in this issue. I won't spoil it by telling you. There is a death. It's not totally unexpected, but it's still very sad. I love the narration in this by their daughter Hazel. I think that the way Brian K. Vaughan writes that's quite funny at times, but also quite poignant. And it just continues to be a great book. What more can I say? If you're not buying this book, they'll be bringing the second trade out soon. To go, you can get the first trade for a good price off Amazon or maybe from your local comic shop, or if you're not got a comic shop, maybe a bookshop. They might sell it. Usually have graphic novels. But whichever way, treat yourself. You won't regret it. And if you're thinking, oh, I don't like science fiction, I'm not really going to be into that book. No, it's wrapped up in science fiction, but at the core of it, it is a love story, and it is a story of these two people who are against all odds, that their love is surviving and thriving against all the odds. Everything the galaxy puts in the way, that their love carries on. And it's just a really great book, and yeah, my pick of the week, definite 5-star book, Saga, chapter 11.